Hey guys, what's going on? This is Mr. B coming to you second week. Time to start thinking about another element of art. Okay? I want you to think about what we talked about last week. Make sure you have these websites: deepspacesparkle.com, artforkidshub.com, and then just YouTube / Mr. P Studios. All of these sites are good. I get a lot of my information from these folks. They know what they're doing, and they help me help you. So last week, we talked about lines, didn't we? We talked about all the elements of art. And the first one we talked about was line. Okay? How many of you remember that? We had lots of lines that we talked about, and I'm going to draw a few of them just to remind you of what we were doing. How about this one? That one's horizontal, vertical, and diagonal. Those are our direction lines. And there's a lot of ways you can draw those, but there's really only one direction that they go: horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. And there's curve, zigzag, can you see that? Maybe I should do that one in black. That's dotted. Okay, so let's move on to our next subject, which is shape. Now there's two groups of shape. And we'll talk about those, one this week and one next week. One of the groups of shape is geometric. So go ahead and write that down. Get your piece of paper, write down shape, and write down geometric. Can you say that with me? Geometric. All right. The second one organic. Everyone say organic. We'll come back to that one next week. So what are some of our geometric shapes? Anybody know? Well, I heard someone say circle. Of course. It's not a perfect circle, but that's a circle. That's one of our geometric shapes. How about this one? Just one type of, yes, triangle. There's another one. Doesn't look quite the same. This one looks a little skinnier. Okay? And of course, they don't always go in the same direction. So there's a third one. All right? How about this one? I heard someone say half circle. Yes. Sometimes it's called semicircle. Okay? Now, I always like you to write the word, because sometimes that helps me remember what I'm dealing with. So if you want to write the word circle, triangle, and semicircle, I'll give you a minute to write those words. I hope that some of you were able to get on those 3 websites. Here they are again. Deep Space Sparkle. YouTube's Mr. P Studios. Mr. P is a good man. He's funny. And I know some of you have already seen him. And then, of course, Art for Kids Hub. Draw lots of characters on that side. All right, let's go on to the next one. Now, this one, you want to make sure all 4 sides are equal. Yes, that one's a square. And the skinny one. Rectangle. Okay, is that all of them? No, there are many, many geometric shapes. But those are the main ones. And so one of the things that I want you to think about is, how would you use these shapes? What would you do with them? What would you create with these types of shapes? I bet you can look around your home or look around the room and see geometric shapes. If you're in the classroom, all you have to do is look at the floor. Those square tiles on the floor. Yep, lots of them. Okay, let me get my little trusty eraser out. I'm going to go ahead and erase these. Remember, you can always go back and look at the video if you fall behind. This is, we're going to go on to our little activity using geometric shapes, and we'll come back to organic next time. All right. So I'm going to turn my paper this way today. Okay. That would be like this. Last week we did this, if you remember. We used lines and we created our name and we put some lines around our name. Okay, now we're going to turn it this way. All right, so in the corner, we're going to draw a diagonal line to start. Yes, we're talking about shapes, but all shapes start with what? Yes, a simple line. Okay. Oh my, that was a curved line. We attached that to our diagonal line, and now we have a what? A semicircle, of course. How about a couple of circles inside of that semicircle? Yes, very good. And a couple of dots inside. Dot is a circle, right? And we'll put a little line, maybe even a little triangle there, down at the bottom. All right. Now we're going to use some zigzag lines, because this is geometric. We'll leave that like that for now. I'll let you catch up. These are, yes, zigzag lines. But what we're going to do is we're going to attach rectangles. Okay? So, those are like rectangles attached to one another. Uh-oh, it's going to look three-dimensional. And so what are we creating today? Anybody tell me? Yes, a jellyfish. The jellyfish is going to look almost three-dimensional. And these rectangles connected makes it look that way. Now, if you're in first grade and you've drawn a small jellyfish because you weren't sure about using all of your paper, that's okay. You could put one or two more in the picture with it. Nothing wrong with that. You can always put more. Okay? Now let's put a line above, a wavy line above his head. Now we may put another wavy line next to his head. All right, I want to make him look like he's in water. Okay. All right, let's put a couple other little lines on his face. Oh, I know, you want to put eyelashes. Well, guess what, boys? The girls want to put eyelashes on it. Nothing wrong with that. And some of you boys might. Well, let's put eyebrows if we're going to put eyelashes. Okay? Now we're going to put some circles in the water. What are we going to create here? Oh, yes, bubbles. Put a rectangle on the bottom floor of the ocean. And maybe another rectangle. We'll have something sticking up on the bottom of the floor of the ocean. Okay, what do we have left to do? Yes, we need to color. Okay, so if you have markers, different colored markers, you could use those. All right, these are my erasable colored pencils, which is what I used last time. Or you could just use pencil and shade it in. Doesn't matter. And crayon. You have crayon. Most of you have crayon. So what color is your jellyfish going to be? What color is the water, the bubbles? And then these two objects at the bottom of the sea. What are those going to be? You take time to color those the way you want. Make sure you get on YouTube with Mr. P Studios. He's got a very similar video, and he may have some other ideas about how you can go about creating your jellyfish. But for now, see you later.